What up, YouTube? It's your boy Iceman Guru, aka Dr. J, back at you with another installment on the High Frequency Only channel. All right. So today we gonna get hot and heavy in here again, man. As y'all know, um, we touch on some stuff, man, on this channel, and rightfully so. With so much that goes on in the world today, um, so much innuendo, so much gossip, so much news. Unfortunately, a lot of it be of the negative variety, but my goal is not to touch on the negativity, even though we have to address issues that's going on in our community and our society. But my goal is to bring a different perspective and a different viewpoint. With all that being said, today's topic is called Modern Women Who Want Traditional Men. Make it make sense. All right? Let me repeat that topic for you again. Modern women who want traditional men. Make it make sense. Now, the reason why I say make it make sense is because we have to define what typically we generally would say a modern woman is and a traditional man. And I feel like we also have to talk about the traditional woman versus the modern man. Okay. Now, let's start with the modern woman. Now, some people will say that the modern woman is born 1960 and after. Okay. Even though I feel like women who's born in 1960s, they still can have some very traditional values. So I would actually push it to the 1970s. But to each their own. Okay. And typically modern women are career-driven women. Okay. They put off marriage and having kids at a later date and focus on their career. Okay. They really are passionate about obtaining degrees. They're prideful about that. They have very high standards when it comes to selecting men, and we're gonna come back to that. All right. Now, a traditional man. Now, everybody understand what we think of or what we know of as a traditional man. So, a traditional man is the protector, the provider. All right. So he pays most of the bills. He protects the wife and kids, or the girlfriend and kids. So that everyone understand what the traditional role typically is of man. And men have always, I think in another video I touched on, men have always embraced that role. Or even if they haven't embraced it, they always understood what their role is. So most men operate in a very traditional manner. Now, let me go to what a traditional woman is. Kind of similar. I think everybody understands that a traditional role of a woman is to be a housewife, take care of the kids, be the kids' first teacher. All right. Make sure that husband is taken care of, that man is taken care of, in that essence. All right. Now, versus the modern man, right? So the modern man is someone that doesn't mind helping take care of the kids. A modern man can say, okay, baby, yeah, we can split the bills. A modern man is, more in tune with his emotional intelligence, more in tune with things being more fair, because y'all know how I feel about that word equal, and actually working with his woman in terms of more, I would say more say of a partnership. All right. Now, so let's get down to the crux of the topic. So when I say modern women wanting traditional men, make it make sense. So there already is it's not balanced, right? So a lot of modern women have very high standards because they feel like a man should be making a certain amount of money. A man should have a certain educational level. And in some instances, a lot of women will say he got to be a certain height. He got to be a certain weight. And the list goes on and on, right? So just the selection process based off those standards, women very shorten their pool to a very small amount. All right. So modern women can't blame anybody but themselves for that. All right. And so modern women wanting traditional men, it's not lining up because modern women can take care of themselves financially. versus, well, traditionally a man would provide for the woman. So there's already a disconnect when it comes to the provide part. All right. So you also have a lot of modern women who would say, because this man is not meeting my standards, well, I'm cool with being by myself. And so you will have a lot of single women, trust me, I know firsthand experience, who are fine with getting a dog and the cat, and hey, they living that way. Or shacking up with a roommate. They're fine with that because they feel like if I can't get what I want, then I'm not going to settle. All right. Now, the problem with the whole modern woman versus traditional man is this. There's three things that are going on dysfunctionally when it comes to a relationship. And part of it has a lot to do with the fact that you have these modern women who want traditional men. That's the first issue. But there's three other issues. One is relationship stamina. Now, this is what I mean by relationship stamina. So the idea that when you go through rough patching, when you go through the ebbs and flows and the ups and downs in a relationship, that you actually have conflict resolution strategies, and you actually problem solve. You actually communicate like adults. All right. So a lot of modern women, like, they understand that, hey, or at least they feel like, hey, I don't have to put up with this. I can go get me another man. The grass may be green on the other side. So they're more willing to opt out of the relationship because we know women leave the relationship 80% of the time, right? So they're more likely to opt out of the relationship because they feel like, hey, I can go get me something better, which a lot of times is not always the case. All right. Now, that's just one aspect, relationship stamina. Another is relationship adaptability. All right. We have to understand that in relationships, things change, particularly if you actually meet somebody in high school or even in college years, and then you grow together. You have to understand that after 3, 5, 10 years, you're going to be with a totally different person. So you have to be able to adapt your relationship based off the growing needs and wants of your partner. And a lot of us do a very poor job in this instance. We say that, hey, I fell in love with you. So that's the person I married. That's the person I got in a relationship, which is understandable. But we also got to understand that people change. Things change. It's called evolution. Okay, even if you don't believe in the concept of evolution, things evolve and change over time. That's just natural. So we have to give room for people to evolve. You change and evolve. So you have to give that same respect to your partner. And the third thing I want to talk about is relationship intelligence. This is what I mean by relationship intelligence. Now, so when you actually commit yourself in a relationship or in a marriage, well, there's certain things that you either shouldn't be doing or you should really tamper back on. For instance, if you're in a relationship, you shouldn't be hanging at nightclubs and bars all the time, particularly because a lot of time your friends are going to be single. Single people kills relationships. I know everybody has heard that before. So it comes with a certain intelligence to understand that, hey, I'm in a relationship and this is what this entails. This is what this involves. All right. So certain things that you shouldn't be doing when you get into a relationship. All right. So you got to be able to understand how relationships work and how they best thrive. And a lot of time that's going to be based off the two people that's coming together. Now, we can look off of broad stereotypical thing when it comes to relationship, but at the end of the day, it's based off the two individuals. But we have to have that relationship intelligence. And a lot of time, modern women just want what they want, and they use that S word, that settle, and say, hey, I'm not settling for this. Okay? So we got relationship intelligence, we got relationship adaptability, and then, we just got the fact that, hey, you have to be able to deal with things with that relationship stamina. Okay, you got to be able to have that. So the idea that modern women want traditional men is not matching up because those three things are key in order to keep a successful relationship or marriage going. All right. Now, I can go on for days about this because I'm probably gonna do a part 2 on this, maybe a part 3. So we're gonna continue to touch on the idea of modern women, traditional men. We may even touch on the opposite in the next video. Okay, but this been your video for today, man. Hope you appreciate the content. Please come back. Please subscribe. Please like the video. Hit that bell. Look in the description box. Go to the links that you see in there. Check your boy out. All right. Hey, as always, I'm you. You are me. Love always, love eternal. And we out. Peace.